Hi, my name is Søren Jensen. I recently joined the CIO Summit event in the Middle East, hosted by IDC. I had the honor of speaking there, but also listening to some quite interesting presentations and IDC's view on IT in general and sort of what's going there. They spoke about 4 pillars. They spoke about cloud, which is no big surprise. They spoke about social working and the mobility around organization, how to ensure that that happens in a inspiring, fast, and secure way, how to deal with big data and analytics. Those were sort of the 4 big pillars. But they also spoke a lot about innovation and what's the role of the CIO in the future, and how does a CIO effectively support the business and so forth. And one of the most interesting times during this event was a panel discussion among 3 CIOs. And in particular, what I would like to do is show you 3 video clips of a lady that I find very inspiring. And I wanted you to hear her voice. Her name is Dr. Awa Al-Ahmad. She is the head of IT, or the CIO for a government agency in Saudi, the Jeddah municipality. And she heads up 53 very diverse locations. She runs all of IT, all from an operational and a strategic level. And she got some very interesting views that I want to share with you. So here is the first clip where she quickly introduces herself.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, I would like to thank IDC for inviting me to take part in this exciting forum. As Vice Mayor, I report directly to the Mayor. It's more or less the role of a CIO, in which I oversee the different departments of IT, and I oversee as well the strategy and the implementation of the strategy and the balanced scorecard of the IT. It's quite exciting. It's been very, very exciting, not only because I'm the only woman, but because I've been lucky to be there for 4 years, so I've witnessed the 2 floods that everybody has heard about. So that's quite interesting.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, and one more important point. She's actually the first and highest ranked woman to hold a leadership position in IT in a Saudi government agency. So the next clip here is where the panel is asked, so what's the future role of the CIO? What's going to change in the next 5 or 10 years? How do you view your own role and your ability to support whatever your organization is going to do? And listen to this.
5 or 10 years. Dr. Arba, perhaps I'll start with you.
I strongly believe it's going to change. It's going to change for many reasons. It can be something as simple as, and unrelated to the organization, as climate change. I'm going back and forth with my story about the floods. A lot of things that we believe we have settled and we have, instilled, all of a sudden can change in one day. For example, we're talking now about increased transparency in organizations. We look around us and we see the Arab Spring, and we see what goes on. We see the power of the technology in the Arab Spring, if you look at it. And coming from this technology background, we can see how powerful the tools we are providing to an organization can be. So basically, it's not just a tool of having a computer. Like 10 years ago, a CIO was maybe very thrilled if he was able to provide 100 computers to an organization and a small local area network. If you look at it now, this is nothing. Your kid at home can do that with the computers at home, if he even needs a local area network now. So everything has changed. I think our role, maybe the most important thing that we really need to do, is keep up with the technology. And keep up with believing in the power of this technology. How are we really going to use it as a powerful tool to empower our organization, our people? One of the things we are working on right now is an e-transparency initiative. And when you think of an e-transparency initiative, our idea is to provide as much information to the public about what's going on in our back offices. So when you think of it, technology is really opening up the organization to the world. I'm speaking maybe from a government perspective because I come from the government, but I believe this is, it's equally as important in the public sector, in the private sector. Because right now people are participating in, creating the new technologies, the new trends. You need to listen to people. People right now, if you don't listen to them, they don't care about you anymore. So they're not going to be your customer. So I think our role right now is more, we need to move from the back end to the front end and to be friends with our customers. So we need to understand what they're saying, we need to understand what they want, and I think this is giving us as CIOs a more powerful role, because we're not just the person that's sitting in the back office and working on computers. Right now, and maybe yesterday we saw this in your new survey, that more, maybe 80% I think, of the surveyed people report directly to the CEO. Why do we report directly? Because now the CEOs know how important technology is. So, of course, this gives us more pressure, and it's raising the bar for us, and now we need to work harder and harder, because we are right now one of the key, maybe the key 3 people in an organization, internally and externally. We are, the one that is dealing with the outside world, as well as the one that's dealing with the inside world.
Wonderful. Interesting.
So just think about what she said there for a minute. She's really all into creating a great level of transparency. She's all about opening up the organization to the outside world and to the inside world. She's looking at becoming friends with her customer, which I think is a great statement, and empower her organization through technology to change the world. And I very much see a CIO or next-gen CIO that is very much becoming a change agent for establishing this agility inside organizations to deal with the new world order and the increasing demand on services that his or her organization is meeting. So how can we relate to this when we sell software and solutions and services to CIOs? How can we relate to this when we develop our software to really fit into this new picture? I think that's a very interesting perspective. This last clip here, the moderator is asking the panel, how do you align yourself with business goals? And what's your way of measuring performance? How do you justify investments? How do you measure ROI and so forth? And let's hear what she's saying to that.
How does it work?
Okay. At the municipality, we actually have a big strategy, which is a 5-year strategy that covers the municipality with all aspects of it. We also have a balance scorecard that goes with the strategy, and we have a strategy department that's responsible, that is really the owner of the balance scorecard. So basically what they do is they come to each department, and we cascade down, from the bigger balance scorecard and the bigger strategy into the different departments. There was one interesting point that was raised yesterday by someone from the government saying it's hard to measure ROI and to justify the cost. This actually, how we solved this at the municipality, we had a similar problem. So basically what we did is we flipped some of the parts in the balance scorecard. So it's part of our secret innovation, if you will. It might not work for every organization, but basically what we did is that if you're familiar, how many of the people here are familiar with balance scorecard and use balance scorecard? So,
quite a few.
Basically, yeah. So in the normal balance scorecard, the finance quadrant is at the top. So basically what we did is that we put the finance quadrant at the bottom. So basically now we have the customer at the top. So our measuring of the success is how satisfied our customers really are. So basically what we do, we keep constant, we do a lot of testing with our users and to see how satisfied they are with different services or with the overall performance of the municipality. And we have a survey that's online, and it's constantly online. We have different polls, and we have a constant survey that's a very long one, a very detailed one about the city. So basically that's how we keep up with measuring our satisfaction. And I'm also a member of the strategic planning committee at the municipality. And this is a committee that is headed by the mayor, and it includes all the heads and the top executives of the municipality. And this committee is dedicated to measuring performance of the different departments and to making sure that the departments are aligned with the strategy. And it's a weekly meeting. It takes place the first hour of every week. So everybody has to be there on Saturday morning just to, and they review the performance of the different departments. So that way, being part of, that committee, I'm able to see what the different departments really have as needs, what their problems are, what their issues are. So when I come to plan my strategy or my projects, if you will, for the next year, I already have an idea of what the different departments need. So that makes me, in touch. I'm not, we don't work in silos. We basically work across the board. The other thing is that at the municipality, we have a priority schema that we use to measure. So basically, when I apply at the end of the year, in the government, in Saudi government, you have to go and ask for a budget, a yearly budget from the Ministry of Finance. So what we do is that we have a meeting around the 6th month with the budget department, where we present to them all the initiatives that we want to do the coming year. So the budget department, they take these initiatives, they run this priority schema, and they see if it matches what the strategy really needs. So they have they get numbers out, and then they enter all the projects that are coming from the different departments, and they see the highest priority ones that would really positively affect the strategy. And that's how they approve our budget before we go to the Ministry of Finance.
Oh, very impressive.
I think this last clip very much speaks for itself. I love the way she's viewing or taking this outside-in approach. I like the way she's talking about developing or creating customer satisfaction or user satisfaction as a way of measuring her own organization's success. Great way of looking at it. We should be asking ourselves, how can we help her drive that agenda? How can we help her establish that framework from our chair? And I know that a data center operator is not asking this type of stuff, but he's part of this. He's part of delivering this user experience in these organizations, and we should be tapping into that agenda. That was it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to thank the Marcom team, the Marcom cluster team in the Middle East. Thank you for investing in this event. I think it was a fantastic event. There were no other infrastructure vendors there. Schneider was the only one representing our part of the IT universe, which was great. Thank you for getting us the video. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share this with everybody, and talk to you soon.